So today I'm driving in the Volvo XC90 T8, which is the hybrid version of this car. And for this test, we thought let's do something a bit different. Let's actually get somebody who's quite prominent to join us for our feature called Behind the Wheel. So I'm about to pick him up right now. You may recognize him from various TV shows or from listening to various types of music that he makes. Oh, look at that. We've got Mr. ProVerb.
Let's go.
How's it, bro? How are you?
Fantastic, and you, my friend?
Good, good. Thank you. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Gladly, man.
On our drive home to our drive to work.
yeah, looking lovely. XC90.
Quite a nice car.
It is a nice car.
It's funny though. Let me actually not crash the one in front of me. Let's start off by doing that right.
Please don't. It's always a good thing.
Exactly, especially because it's your car in front of us as well.
But because of the park assist and the notifications, you'll notice it lets you know you can't hit anything.
That's so true.
No, you can't.
Normally for this segment, we like to feature a new car that our guest hasn't started, hasn't driven or anything like that.
Okay.
But I think in your case, that's a bit different because
it is a little bit different because I'm a huge fan of the all-new XC90, and I happen to be driving one right now.
There we go.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I can tell you all about it.
How have you found yours? Because you got the D4, right? You got the D4.
I do have the D4. Absolutely loving it. It's a machine. It's a beast. But at the same time, I like the elegance and the sophistication of it. So I can pull up to an event like the Samas, you know. But at the same time, I can go to a rap concert and still get the cred.
Cool. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's
so
true.
It wins, man. It really wins.
That's true. And it's very different. That's what I love about the car. You know, a lot of guys like specific types of cars. And you see a lot of the same car. We're not going to mention brands, but you know, the same kind of car that's driving around. But this is different. But do you notice something about the car we're driving today?
Well, look, other than the fact that it's a multi-award winning vehicle, man, it's head and shoulders above the rest.
Yeah.
So the reason it's not that common is because it's in a league of its own.
That's true.
But you better believe that everybody is now catching on and realizing that the all-new XC90 is one of the best vehicles and machines ever made.
That's true. That's true. And I mean, like I talk about the D4 and we got the D5 and the T's and all that. What I love about this though is that we're driving in silence.
Oh,
it's the weirdest thing because this T8 has got that hybrid motor in it.
Yeah.
So it's like basically a T6, but it's got that hybrid engine. So if I sit like this now, it's just quiet.
It's just absolute silence, man.
Which is a good thing.
That's a wonderful thing.
If the interview doesn't go well, it would be quite awkward because then you have a real awkward silence because the car's so quiet inside.
No, but listen, there's so much to talk about. It cannot go quiet. You know what I mean? If not, I'll just break out into song.
There we go. Oh yes, speaking about that. Yeah.
You know.
It's funny though, a lot of people I'm sure they're gonna watch this and they think there's an English guy who does a similar segment, but I'm telling the world right now that we're not stealing the segment, the carpool karaoke.
We're improving it.
Exactly. You know,
doing it better.
We're customizing it for South Africa.
Exactly.
How's the music scene going? Because you've just dropped a new single now, haven't you?
Look, I dropped the 5th studio album last year, celebrating 10 years as a recording hip-hop artist. I did a big event that Volvo was actually a big part of at the Lyric Theatre where I packed it out. And in just 2 days' time, I'll be doing another gig here in Rosebank at Catsy's. So the music is going very well, man. Gigging very hard, putting out singles. With this 90% now, I don't know if you know about it. It's a big boost for South African music in general.
That's true.
And I also wish to benefit from that as well.
No, that's true. I mean, that's awesome. So it's the fifth studio album now.
5th, can you believe it?
Because I've been still bumping to the retape.
Oh my word!
And I was listening to that. I've been listening to that the last few days, and it's such a feel-good album.
Yeah.
I just love the vibe about it.
The Red Tape is the 5th album.
Yes.
The first was the Book of ProVerb, Manuscript.
Yes.
Write the Passage.
Yes.
Forthright, and now the Red Tape.
The Red Tape. Okay, awesome. Awesome. Because what I love though about your message though, it's different to a lot of the other guys' message. It's a positive message.
I try and keep it nice and positive. Look, man, my kids also need to listen to my music, and also it just speaks to the legacy that I wish to leave as well.
But that's awesome because I think a lot of guys, when they start out, they're young and they're doing cool things, and then you get kids, and then you realize that at some point my kids are going to want to listen to my music as well.
Look, even before I had kids, man, my parents were listening to my music, and also, you know, when I was defining what it is I want to stand for, what I want to be about, what my music should be about, that's when I decided that I'd like to keep it positive. I'd like to be sort of a builder and use my craft to build. You know what I mean? And so that ultimately then speaks to my sound and my message.
No, but that's awesome. That's and you can see it. And it's a feel, like I said, it's a feel good album. I was listening to there's a track.
What are your favorites?
What I've been listening to a lot right now is Master Degree.
Oh,
it's
PhD flows.
It's such a turn-up track. I think I've actually got it here.
Oh, right. Okay.
I've got it here if I play. That's what I love about this touchscreen. You can actually just play it like this. Yeah. Where's this? There's that. There we go.
Master Degrees.
There we go. We've got Bowers and Wilkins sound system. Yeah. How do I turn this up? There we go.
Oh, there you go. Okay, maybe just not manually.
Yeah.
So that's your fave, hey?
Yeah, it's but you know, also I think also being young, you like to
turn it up a little bit. Well, look, I don't do turn up, but that's as close as you know I'll get to turn up.
Yeah. No, so you say you don't do turn up. I'll ask why.
Look, nothing against it, but I just it's, you know, party music is cool, and I feel like there are guys that do it better.
Okay.
You know, me, message and content, flow and delivery is more my strength. So it's more a case of playing to my strengths.
Oh, very cool. Yeah. But that also goes back to your name at the same time, right?
Sure.
Because I mean, the name ProVerb, there's a bit of a play on words there, I'm sure. Where did that actually come from?
A proverb is a short saying stating the truth. I want my music to be about the truth, but also the reason I make a V capital, so that it's two words: professional at verbalizing the truth.
Awesome. That's a whole thing right there.
That's
by
a whole thing right there.
Oh, that's awesome.
That sounds like a first verse of something, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Exactly. I mean, listen to this. I promise I've been bumping my head the whole time listening to this. But it's even that chorus just gets me as well.
You like it?
You see how good the Bowers and Wilkins sound system is.
Master degrees on beats. But I got the heat though, that heat that got master degrees on beats. That's what the streets know, that I got those master degrees on beats. Those PhD flows.
Master degrees on beats.
Deposit the nose, your medulla oblongata, because that is a part of the code. Intricate, man.
I must say, I'm a bit blessed right now. The fact that I'm sitting in basically my own private live show.
Oh, there you go.
In a Volvo XC90. Wow.
Yeah, man.
I've got a tough job, don't I?
Not even. You're living the life, my friend.
Yeah, no, I've got a great job. Not a lot of people get this opportunity, I must say. It's an awesome thing. Yeah. What are your personal songs, personally, that like when you were making an album, that you would say are the songs that said this is?
Well, look, to answer that, I would have to refer to my entire catalog of 5 albums.
Okay.
So throughout my career, there's been sort of signature tunes that have shaped me as a person, but also have a significance to my message, you know?
Okay.
So songs like I Have a Dream.
Yes.
I Have a Dream spoke about what I wish to see for South African hip-hop, which I recorded 10 years ago.
Sure.
Which is awesome to see that everything I document in there as my wish or forecast has sort of come to pass, which is quite cool. Then I've got personal songs like you know, Legacy, which speaks to the legacy I wish to leave.
Oh, yes.
My Day Will Come,
yes,
which is my sort of state of mind. I speak about how, you know, I'm ambitious, I'm driven, I wish to achieve this, that, and the other, and how I'm also patient, and I know that with paying your dues, you know, everything will eventually happen. So there's kind of songs like those, man. Then of course there's a lot more personal songs as well.
Yeah.
About my kids, my family, that kind of a thing. About women. You want to speak about my mom, my grandmother, my little sister.
Yes.
So
I feel that.
I think about it, man. I think all of them, man.
Yeah.
I think every time I get into studio, I get so personal. I draw from such a personal place that I now have a sentimental attachment to every single one.
Okay. But I mean, that's a true artist at the end of the day, like you're saying, and it goes back now when you're talking about party songs. Yeah. It makes a lot of sense now because you're not keeping up with the trends.
No, not really.
It's actually making what's personal to you.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's awesome.
There you go.
And then any artists, I see you do a number of collabs, and any cool artists that you've worked with and you want to work with in the future?
Dude, I love to collaborate, man. This particular one we're playing now is featuring a guy called J-So from Ghana.
Oh, yes.
Another one of my favorites is Mode 9 from Nigeria.
Awesome.
Then I've got Punchline on my latest album from New York.
Oh, yes.
I recently did a song with J Live.
Oh, yes. Yes.
You know, for another project. And as I say, I'm big on collaborations, man. Guys like Lungelo, Debo Moloto, Melina,
Yes.
Lerato Moloisane, many. Throughout my 10-year career, I've collaborated with many, and I still hope to work with many artists.
No, but I mean, it makes a lot of sense, and I'm sure a lot of the guys want to work with you. I mean, as one of the mavericks in the industry. And like you said, there's a lot of change that's happened, but a
Yes.
positive change. Whereas now, there's a huge hype behind the hip-hop scene within South Africa now. And it's good to see.
Oh, we run
that,
things now.
Yeah.
No. It's a hip hop.
Yeah.
It runs things right now.
And you're
man.
killing it at the moment. Eh?
And you know what? It's awesome to have been a part of that struggle. So
Yeah.
from the beginning, when we were still knocking on the doors,
Yeah.
to seeing the gradual uptake, to
Yeah.
now where we're officially running the game.
Yes, and
You
it's
know?
true. And there's nice to see that there's a lot of African element to it as well.
Yeah.
You mentioned guys from Ghana, guys from Nigeria,
Yes.
which is nice. It's also helped to break down, personally, I feel, and coming from a background of being Mozambican and South African,
Yeah.
that whole xenophobic vibe in the country, the music has helped bridge the gap, I feel.
Oh, very much.
Because
man.
there's now that connection between everybody, whether you're from Ghana or from Mozambique or wherever, which
Absolutely,
is a great
man.
it's a
Music
great
has
thing.
always kind of been a powerful tool, you know,
Yeah.
of change.
Yeah.
And that's another reason why I like to, you know, I want my music to have a message and to
Yes.
be a tool,
Yes.
as opposed to just partying and turning up. Again,
Sure,
nothing
yeah.
wrong with that. That's the preference.
But it's interesting when you talk about partying and turning up. I was actually going to ask you because, I mean, you are someone who is huge in hip hop. You're on TV,
Right.
you know, you're on radio.
Yes.
How do you balance it all? I mean, it's
All
lot.
entertainment ultimately.
Yeah.
You know, as you listed, I'm sure you can tell.
Yes.
The common thread is
Entertainment.
I'm an entertainer, man.
Yeah.
You know, I'm an entertainer through and through.
Yes.
So, and also I like to express, and I like any kind of platform where I get to exchange.
Yes.
So I get off on this kind of thing where we exchange with fellow creatives.
Exactly.
We sort of, you know, plug into each other's minds and exchange ideas.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm sort of drawn to any platforms that allow me to do that, whether it's radio, television, live speaking, writing, authoring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
All
That kind of thing.
All the creative
All the sort of creative spaces, you know.
But do you sleep?
Look, I'm not good at that. Funny.
Oh, yeah?
You know what I
That's
mean?
with that as well.
I'm not a great sleeper. But you know, we needed to live and survive. I always notice Volvo anyway.
Volvo on the road, yeah.
So yeah, sleep unfortunately is perhaps maybe the price I pay,
Okay.
or lack thereof. Lack of sleep is the price I pay then for the life I lead.
Yeah. No, but I mean, I'm sure you wouldn't have it any other way, though.
No, I wouldn't trade it for anything, my friend.
No, awesome.
Never.
Awesome. And tell us a bit about Idols. I can imagine you're in the forefront of it there. I mean,
Yes.
I'm sure a lot of us, we watch it and
Yeah.
we like to see the beginning stages of it, the middle stages. For you, what's your favorite aspect of being part of the whole process of
Sure.
the whole Idol selection process?
Well, look, remember, I'm host and co-executive producer as well.
Yes.
So I kind of get to see the mind map of the show in its entirety from the beginning to when we're conceptualizing what the sort of feel is gonna be, who are the guests we're gonna have, what do we hope to achieve, etc.
Yeah.
To actually executing it, you know, when we go to the various regions, auditions. So I kind of love that entire process. Personally though, I'm a big fan of the live shows.
Okay. Okay.
You know,
you get to be right
because
in the action
that's
there.
live television, man.
Yeah.
You know, the talent is raw, the music is live,
Yes.
the audience, the interaction is immediate.
Yeah.
You know, the response is fantastic, is another one of my favorites.
Yes, I was actually going to say
Um,
nothing new.
Yeah, so I honestly love that process. Obviously, the beginning phase is also
hectic.
very, very popular because
Yes.
everyone likes to laugh at
People who
at some
can't
of the
sing.
hopefuls. Yeah,
It
so
must
it's
get
a lot
awkward
of
from
fun.
times. Like if somebody comes out there and they're a bit bleak, you have to console them and things like that. Does that happen? Have you ever had any awkward moments where you just like, oh, I feel bad for this
Many, my
person?
friend, many, my
Oh,
friend.
no.
Look, usually my poker face is quite strong,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
but there's been guys who've broken me, man.
Oh man.
You know,
Yeah.
where I would just burst out laughing and feel so bad that I'm laughing, and laugh at the fact that I feel bad about it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And it's just like an endless cycle of madness.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, but look, it's a lot of fun, man. That's an awesome gig. It's changed my career.
Yeah.
It's repositioned my brand, and just, you know what I mean, and just kind of given me a new lease on entertainment and what I do.
Yeah. It must be quite interesting, because I'm sure at some point you could be probably shopping, and then someone is like, "Oh, that's the gent from Idols," or someone's like, "Oh, that's my favorite rapper."
Oh,
It's
you
quite
have
an
no idea,
interesting
man.
thing, eh?
You have no idea.
Yeah.
Somebody has brought their daughter to sing for me.
No ways.
While I was doing my groceries.
No ways.
And I explained to them that, look, man, this is the price how it works. And, you know, he insists that, look, you have to hear my child right now.
No ways.
And then tell me what you think.
What?
You know, so...
what did you do?
Man, it gets as personal as that.
Oh my word.
You know, but...
Was you, at least, were you still in the process? You went by by the tools, because I can imagine it must be quite awkward. It's like, boop, and
No.
someone's singing, boop.
No, I was literally in the aisle.
Oh, yeah.
You know, picking my groceries.
Yeah.
And somebody's like, that's the Idols guy.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm singing for him right now. And I
Oh
was like,
no, man.
you know?
That must have been quite awkward.
Look, it's all in the name of the game, let me tell you.
But I think because, you know, you're a great guy, so you probably gave them
Thank you,
the
my
time
man. Man, you know
to
what?
do it.
I was like, let's do it. Why the heck not?
Yeah. And then, like, were other people watching and actually looking at you guys like, what is
Honestly,
going on here?
people were wondering something bizarre is happening here, what's going on, but
Yeah, it is what it is.
Look, you have to own it.
Yeah.
You know, whenever there's an awkward moment, you gotta own it, otherwise you'll come off weird.
Yes, exactly.
So I owned it. I gave my views afterwards.
Oh,
I encouraged them to come and enter.
Who, if you were to pick a judge that you had the personality of, who would you be? Would you be Grandel, Gareth?
Oh my word, that I have the personality of.
Yeah, if you had to pick, like, because I don't think Randall is as hardcore as he probably. Personally, the way it looks like he's probably a very nice guy. But then obviously when the show is there, he's like...
Look, man, and not to suggest he's not a nice guy.
Yeah.
But he's definitely the way he comes off on the show. He's
really?
a sharpshooter. He's factual.
Yeah.
He's, his opinions are very educated. He knows what he's talking about. He's well resourced.
Yeah.
So when he speaks with authority. And you know what? Any interaction with him is always like that.
Oh, serious? So he's just like, boom.
He's like, this is what it is, this is what it's not, this is what's gonna happen, that's not what's gonna happen, and I'm out.
Whoa.
You know?
It's a nice mix. So he is literally our Simon Cowell.
Oh, very much, man.
Yeah.
That's very much him. They couldn't have cast him any better.
Yeah.
But you know what? A lot of people love him, a lot of people hate him, but whichever the reason is the reason they watch.
Yeah, that's
You know
true.
what I mean?
And people watch.
Yeah,
I mean, I get home. I don't watch a lot of TV.
Yeah.
But I make sure that when Idols is on, I watch some Idols. Yeah, that's true.
My man.
Yeah,
That's
but
how it should be.
even if I didn't want to, my sisters and my moms and all that will just force me to do it in any
Nice.
case because they love it. It's just like
No,
want to
it's
have
a
that
show for
downtime.
everybody, man. Everyone loves it, from the kiddies right up across, you know. Very fantastic show. Glad to be a part of it.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. But, so if you were to advise any young people looking to get into the entertainment industry,
Yeah.
what would you say?
Well, to say, look, man, always empower yourself, give yourself some education. That always helps to formalize things a little bit.
Yeah.
But at the same time, diversify your portfolio. I know that you reckon you have one particular area that you want to focus on, but you know, our industry is so small, and also the lifespan of an entertainer is so short-lived that you want to sort of cast your net as wide as possible so you can do as much as you possibly can in the industry and thrive in that space. So to say, don't limit yourself, broaden your horizon, broaden your scope, and really cast your net wide.
The sky's the limit.
The sky is the limit, my friend.
And a bit about ProVerb. What do you do for fun if you don't turn up?
Dude, listen. I drive an XC90.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I could be stuck in traffic, and that's the fun I'm having.
There we go.
You know what I mean? The point is, No, but seriously though, I have a fantastic life. I enjoy to travel. My girlfriend and I love to travel.
Nice.
We travel as often as we can.
Nice.
We take a lot of road trips naturally.
Yes.
In this beast.
In the right car? You got the right car for the road trip?
100%, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's what I like to do.
No, awesome. Awesome. Yeah. Pet peeves?
Pet peeves, dishonesty for me is one. In fact, that's probably my biggest one. Everything else speaks to that.
Yeah.
You know,
so
I
be
think
authentic in what you do.
Just be authentic. Do what you say you're gonna do.
Yeah.
Be on time.
Yes.
Respect everybody. You know, especially if they respect you.
Yes.
That's kind of it. So for me, it all speaks to dishonesty, really. That's my biggest pet peeve. Yeah.
But that actually that also goes back to what you symbolize, because as an authentic person, there's that whole thing of like, you know, people like to say nice guys finish last, but you can't, like, you actually go and break that whole thing, because you are a nice guy and definitely you haven't finished last.
Look, I've had my losses in life, as we all have.
Yeah.
But I also am a positive guy, man, and so I've had my victories as well.
Yes.
So I definitely focus on those.
Yeah.
I definitely celebrate those more. Yeah. So you know, because I really believe that nice guys should win, man.
Yes,
you know
that's
what
true.
I mean? We should win.
That's true. And you know, I mean, I was one as a person who really enjoys a lot of music.
Yeah.
It's funny because especially within the hip hop industry, there's a lot of that hardcore vibe, that, you know, the whole bravado thing.
Yes.
But it's nice to actually. There's also a human element. He's like, this is actually a normal, cool guy, which we get from you.
Sure.
And you also see it coming through, even internationally. You see that a lot of guys who have made a huge difference. I look at Pharrell Williams, for instance.
Yeah.
He's never put himself out there as this G or anything like that. Yeah. But people love him.
Put a cap in your kneecap.
Exactly.
Kind of guy.
Exactly.
Sure.
So no, it's
that's it, man. The wave is definitely turning, man. I think we're living in the era of the nice guy.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, there we go. I like that.
Let's do it. Yeah, man.
Perfect. Awesome. Oh, we've got so much traffic here, but I'm not really that bothered because we're in a comfortable car.
That's it. So, I don't mind traffic, man. That's when I get to enjoy my music, get to enjoy my car.
Yeah.
And I don't mind it at all.
It's a pity we didn't have time to do the pilot assist where the car drives itself.
Oh yeah.
But I'm sure it's the beginning of very cool things. But on our side, we'd just like to thank you very much for
awesome, man. This was such a lot of fun.
And it's our first ever session of Behind the Wheel.
Yeah, the pioneer.
There we go. The pioneer, the rap kid, the pioneer in our segment. So there we go.
There you go. So, my friend, thank you very much, man.
Really appreciate it so
much.
much.
No doubt. All the best, eh?
Thank you so much.
I'll grab my coffee.
Awesome.
You have a fantastic day.
You too, bro.